Hello, everyone. Welcome to this conversation. I'm here in Costa Rica, a wonderful, wonderful place. It's a very unique resort that's being built here, and have the fortune to be one of the investors. And it's become one of my homes. So people have been wondering, are you ever going to come to Europe? Yes, I will. Just enjoying it so much here. And yeah, so this conversation is about facilitating children to greatness, a huge topic. So, if you tap into what did you already know when you were a child, just for a moment, not what people told you who you are, not what people projected on you, but the being that you came in as, starting with your body. Who is that? Okay, so get the sense of that. And then as started to, interact with your family, your parents, your school, and all the education, what did you then become? And now get the sense of that. So how different is who you were when you came in as the being you are with the body you have, that you then created yourself as when you met your parents or interacted with them or the school. So for most people, there's a huge difference between those. That's just the world we live in right now. What if it's time to change that? What if the kids that come in, we actually facilitate the space for them where they get to be them? And isn't that something you wished that you had gotten? That rather than people telling you, this is how you should behave, this is right, and this is wrong, and this is good, and this is bad, well, you started to create a programming machine of, okay, this is too much. Okay, this is allowed. This is good. This is when I'm being liked. If I behave like this, they like me. If I behave like this, oh, they don't like me. I get the look. This is where you learn to calculate and shut off you. So what if we are right now, for whether you have kids yourself or you work with children, or you would like to start to working with children as a coach or facilitator, or any kid you meet, big, small kids, any age, what if you were being that space where the children you meet, no matter what age, are being empowered to be more of who they are? And you know what's really fascinating? When you choose to be that, when you choose to be the walking, talking space bringer to the world, it's not just one way. If you are starting to make the choice to facilitating mean it's a Latin word. It means making easier. It's the easier maker. So if you choose to be the facilitator, the easier maker, it's not just that you give it to someone. While you are inviting someone to be more of who they are, no matter who they are or what age, it is also something that's inviting you to be it. And that's what I love about this work, whether I work with children or businesses or grown-ups. I learn so much from the work I do. I facilitate people, and then I learn so much, because I cannot just tell people, hey, if you work with children, you have to think about this, you have to consider this. No, you have to be it. You have to walk your talk. So I love to use the tools of pragmatic psychology and access consciousness in my work, because I get to become a greater space. And from that, other people are inspired to be more of them. So imagine if for children, it's not so much about learning what's the right behavior and what's the wrong behavior, or creating a programming where if I do this, I am liked. If I do not this, I will not be liked. Because that is not a kindness. Teaching that to each other, that is very, very, very unkind, because you have to create a judgment system and a certain flavor of paranoia to make sure you are liked. I mean, how many of you were trained to walk through the world going, oh, I hope I'm liked, I hope I'm loved, and only if I do it this way, I make sure I'm loved. That's more abuse. That's not empowerment. So what if we change that paradigm for us, but also everyone we meet? So that is my invitation with pragmatic psychology, with everything I do, with the classes I teach, with the programs I do, because I'd like to see a world where, it's about the gratitude of, whoever, grown up, child, oh, you like this? Thank you. What can I learn from you? I mean, if you look back and, the child you were, if you would have been received for everything you are, the wonderful, the crazy, the woohoo, all over the placeness, or the shyness, or whatever you were, if you would have been received, if people would have gone, hey, I don't really get you, like you're a strange creature, but cool, thank you, I'll receive it, and I will, like, I'm getting greater because of whatever you choose to be. Wow, like how would you show up in the world now? And the good news is it's not too late. You can still tickle this out of you. You can still undo all the abuse or unkindness you have been encountering. And you can still show up and start to tickle out the you that you truly are. And we can also do this not for ourselves only, but also in our interaction and facilitation of other people that we have in our families or that are your clients. So how about that? Would you be interested in being more of that in the world? And I am so welcoming you to what's being created. Pragmatic psychology is really this life form where I'm like, it started over 10 years ago, and it's like people were like, I like it, but they couldn't really hear it. And now it's like people are starting to hear what this has to offer, like this totally different paradigm of not being dramatic. I have to work on my past, only then I will get greater. No, you can use your past as a jumping board, as a resource to become even greater. Your past is not something that limits you, that makes you incapable. Your past is something that can give you a lot of awareness where you can actually become even greater than you are. And that's something I would like to invite people to. And also talking about children, it's like children might have smaller bodies than you, but that doesn't mean they know less than you. It's like if you get over teaching kids, you can actually empower them instead, because they know a lot, and you can, rather than telling them what to do, you can ask them what they know and tickle that out of them, which can be so fun and so inspiring. And also what I see in my work with children is there's a lot of projections on children, not only, of course, grown-ups as well, but it's like if there's a family and there's different children, different siblings, and they all don't only look different, but they also behave different. There's usually like, oh, this is the smart one, this is the pretty one, this is the shy one. And people start categorizing, their children pretty soon. And then the children go, oh, okay, you want me to be the pretty one only, not smart? Okay, got it. You want me to be the crazy, black sheep in the family? Okay, that's the box you give me. Okay, I will be that. So there's this expression called got the name, play the game. And then there's these projections oftentimes determine for children to learn, this is who you want me to be in the world, so we have that kind of connection and relationship that you want me to have, that you're comfortable with, because then you know who I am. But it's not about me. It's not about me as a child. It's not how would I like to be in the world, and what am I more than just pretty, or who am I more than just a wild child? Because we're not just one thing, we're many things. And if you become present with, when you start to project anything on other people, what is that creating? What if you don't? What if you meet people, your children, and you allow that meeting, that interaction to be different and new every day? What if you have a different, like if you allow yourself to recognize that your child is different every day, every moment, because that's the wonderful flexibility that children have. They're not the same all the time. They're changing. They're showing you that you don't have to be the same all the time. You can be everything. You can be grumpy in this moment, and you can go, I'm over it. I'm happy again. Aha, okay. 10 seconds are over. Now I'm going to be wild. Okay, done with that. Now I want to be shy. They show you that flexibility from when they're very tiny. But when we are then getting older, we're like, okay, this is me in the world. These are my traits, which makes you very inflexible and very incapable of changing you or anything you desire to change. So that way, children can show you a lot. And the question you want to ask when you facilitate children is not making them be a normal citizen of the world. Okay? So if you want your children to be a normal citizen of the world, because then you think you did a great job, what if that is not your job? What if it's not your job to make your children a normal citizen of the world? We have enough of normal people. We don't need more. Because if you have noticed how insane the world is right now, we don't need more normal people, okay? We all know that. We need people who think outside the box, who are not followers and sheeps. We need leaders. So if you want to foster leaders in the world, you have to treat your children different. You have to treat them as leaders, not as little sheep that you want to be perfect. Okay? So, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong if you're doing that. Just, it's not about being perfect, but if you notice, oh, okay, I'm trying to make my child a little perfect something. What if you can relax? And what if you can ask, what is really my job with my children? And what can I receive from my children? And what future can I prepare them for? And how you do this? So easy, so simple. You ask them questions. Rather than telling them what to do, you're like, okay, so if you do this, if you behave like this or do this, what are you going to create with this? What future will you create? And even if they don't answer you, you are facilitating them. You're facilitating an awareness for them that is creating a different future already. So, what have you wished as a kid that you've never gotten when you were a kid, that you can be now and gift the world now? That. Because we all know it's time to create a different world, and we are on it. And I think you know more about this than you have ever been asked for. We've never been asked to know what we know. But if someone asks you, hey, what do you know about this? What do you know about facilitating children or creating a different future? Then you can go, I don't know up here. My head doesn't have the answers for it, but somewhere, me as the being, I know it. I might not have words for it, but I do know. And this is what I'd like to see more of. So what this intro is about is, this invitation, and also plus an invitation to a program that's coming up starting on Monday. It's about facilitating children to greatness. And I'm going to try to not cry because this for me has a sense of going to new spaces where we are creating something different in the world. Because when I teach, my background is psychologist and therapist. So with pragmatic psychology, which is a new paradigm, it's very different to work with that than any other modality. When I teach people or facilitate people with more of that work, it's just so wonderful to see how they step up, how they start to shine and go, oh, I know this. I'm capable of this. I can do this. And so it's also where they learn how they can, let's in this program, it's about children, how they can facilitate children and families and schools or in whatever context they're working. But it's also so wonderful to see how it changes them. It undoes those places where they couldn't be them as children. And it doesn't matter how many decades ago you were a child. It's never too late. You can change whatever made you not be you. It's never too late to let go of those limitations. And yes, so this is an invitation. If you are working with children and families, or have kids yourself or grandkids, or if you would like to start with working with children, or if you would like to start working with your own kids in a different way, including you, then welcome to join us starting on Monday. This program has not only live calls, we also have like PDFs, things you can read as some kind of manual. And you can also, after this, go out in the world and work as this. Say I did this class, and you're ready for more work with kids and families and maybe schools or wherever you want to start working with. Because I'd like to see this work spread wherever it can. Because imagine if the world would be a less dramatic place where, it's all about, oh, what else is wrong? What else do we need to fix? But it's about possibilities and play, and generative energies, just like the earth is. And the children show us this they don't go, I built a sandcastle and I have completed the sandcastle, and now I will have, something from it. I don't know. I can add it to my, what is it called? Like the thing where you write what jobs you did. I can add it to my list of, jobs, and I'm really good because I did this sandcastle. No, they build the sandcastle because it's fun for them, because in the moment they receive a generative energy that inspires them to be more of them, that inspires them to show up in the world, that gives them an idea of what else can I play with, what else can I do? And that's the energy of creation. So if you add that with, for example, the businesses you create or the money you create, how much more successful could you be? And that's something that children show us, and that's something we can tickle out. And that's something, from my interesting point of view, is something that the world requires, especially right now. So if you want to join us for this program, you can. I'm just look at the technique. Oh my God, I'm so proud. Doesn't it look like grown up? Like I have a banner here and you can read where it is. I'm not a technical person, so I'm so proud when I make something work. So for more information about this program, you can go to pragmaticpsychology.com/facilitating kids to greatness, or, it's somewhere here in the thing. And like maybe if you listen to me beyond the words, you might pick up an energy of, like the aliveness that you might have tried to not be because you're grown up. Maybe you want to stop that. Maybe you can have a grown up body, but you can still be more alive than most people around you. And especially if you work with children and you try to be a normal grown up, good luck. Not gonna work. So if you with anything you do, your business, your money, your creations, if you turn up that childlike aliveness, and at the same time, still have your awareness and everything you gathered throughout the years and use it as, as a resource, what else would be possible for you to create and to be in the world? And it's interesting because I just think of the very first book that I wrote, which is the Pragmatic Psychology book. And the tagline is practical tools for being crazy happy. And people have been asking me for years, why crazy happy? Well, I think you know why. Because if you are happy, not just normal, not just like like normal happy, like controlled happy. But if you're like happy, like what else is possible? Like, oh, like this excitement, this generative energy. And people might think you're crazy. And that's where people hold back a lot. Like they think like how old can you be for this to be normal? I don't know, maybe 12, 13, 14, maybe years old. When we were children in our, generation, we could be maybe 16, 17, but now like kids have to be very perfect and normal when they're 10. It's crazy, right? But there's this point of view that, up until a certain age, I can be all over the place, but then I have to tone it down. Why? You lose a lot of the creativity and the generative energy that you are. You make life and creation much harder when you try to be normal. Meme. So you being crazy happy might make people go, okay, she's crazy, he's crazy. But why is that judgment more relevant than the generative energy you can have and be? For me, being happy is one of the most intelligent things you can choose. So welcome to join us. If this, there's so many things out there in the world, but you know what you require for your future. And if you have any questions about this program and you feel like you want to join and you need more information, just either look in the link or ask us a question about it. And I'm looking forward to this. So anyone who feels drawn to this is welcome. You don't have to have anything to do with kids yet. You can just go, I want to do this for me. Then join us as well, please. Or if you are working with kids already and want to start, welcome to join us. And please let it be for you too, not just for your work. Because if you let it be for you too, you can be so much more dynamic in what you get to change also for other people. So I hope this was a contribution and an inspiration. And what else is possible? Big kisses to all you wonderful creatures out there, and see you. Adios. Bye bye.